Hi everyone, welcome to Unscripted Coding. Today we have more of a demo rather than actual coding. In fact, I don't think we're going to do any coding at all. What we have here is Android, of course. Anyone who isn't 100% locked into Apple will probably recognize, the Google icon, Play Store, the general interface. It is Android. But what's special about it is we have it running on the Nintendo Switch. There's no screen, but the cable is connected to my computer. That's what we're capturing right now, is the Nintendo Switch running Android. So what's happening here? Well, I intended to show you guys exactly the process I went through to get this running. We just used switch root to put Android 10 on the Nintendo Switch. And I wanted to get this working, but all throughout the process, you have different dongles that you gotta fiddle with because you're not really able to capture the whole process on video unless you have really crappy footage of me going tapping on the screen here and there. Nothing like video capture, unfortunately. So, but what I can say is that the switch root guide is incredibly detailed and to the point. There's not a whole lot of side chatter, there's not a lot of unexpected, and it's actually quite a simple process. The only caveat is you need, of course, a Nintendo Switch, but you need one that's exploitable. You either put in a mod chip or you have a pretty early model from the first year or 2 years of the Switch release. Luckily, I did have one, so this is a pretty old Nintendo Switch, and that worked out just fine. The other thing you might want is something called an RCM loader. Now, the Nintendo Switch and the Tegra chip in there has a flaw, an unpatchable exploit that you can exploit with one of these things that you can just buy off AliExpress or around the town, wherever you want to get your gaming accessories from. Chances are you might find one pretty easily. And the idea is you plug the RCM loader at the bottom here, where the USB-C port is, and then it comes with this little red thing that you slide where your right Joy-Con would normally be. And I'm not doing a great demo, but you slide it in where the Joy-Con would have been. And the idea is it connects pins that need to be connected for this to work. So multiple things. You can get away without this thing. I think this is maybe on the order of $10 or $15. Very, very handy. But not absolutely necessary because the RCM loader could be done by your phone or your computer. There are apps for that. And then this little thing, I've seen people 3D print them. I know you can jam a paper clip. Other people actually modify their Joy-Cons to do the same thing. So lots of options for you. And really, it's just a matter of shuffling files through your microSD, a few things when they pop up here and waiting it out. Took about a half hour for the whole process to go through, but you'll get very familiar with the Hecate menu right here, running the various things. So let's get back to what is interesting and cool. Let me just actually get this showing something. Hang on a sec here. Okay. I'll tell you why I'm very excited, though. You can do two things with this. You can load a tablet interface, which is what I have right here. You can't see it, but you can interact with it exactly like a tablet. But the other thing you can do is put Android TV in there. So you can dock it and run Netflix, Prime Video, Crunchyroll, whatever it may be, and use it almost like a Roku or a Fire Stick. Keep in mind, the Nintendo Switch, even though I think it's 5 years old now, has a Tegra processor. It's very respectable. It's not your top-end tablet anymore, but it'll still beat out most of your Amazon Fire Sticks and so on. And I know so many people that have really old Switches that just aren't getting a lot of use out of them. But I'll tell you why I did this. Two reasons. Diablo Immortal is one of them. I don't think I'm going to be playing a whole lot more of it. But streaming video games. So I'm going to show you guys really quickly. This is Stadia. So Stadia is game streaming. You don't actually run Assassin's Creed Valhalla on your device or on your tablet, but Google is streaming it to your device. You'll also see that I have a couple other options as well. There is NVIDIA Geforce Now, which actually comes pre-installed on this in Lineage, meaning that you can it's fully expected to be run on this device. The other one is Gamepass, which I have to tell you doesn't run as well as Stadia or GeForce Now, but has an amazing library for a fixed fee per month. It's been really, really great playing these games, and very acceptable on the Switch nonetheless. But still, they have a couple more hiccups than Stadia or GeForce Now. But let me just show you guys Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And you can just imagine myself kicking my legs up at the end of the day, maybe while eating dinner in the kitchen or in bed getting ready to sleep. And being able to play a full game. The other thing is, Nintendo has experimented with this. I don't see it in Canada, but I understand in Japan they sold one of the Resident Evils. I want to say Resident Evil 6, maybe 7. They also sold Assassin's Creed Origins, and all through a streaming platform. So you could have gotten this straight from Nintendo in the past. But they have a very limited library. Instead, throw it on Android and get an amazing experience. Now, I hate this loading screen because they check for add-ons for quite a while, and I'm going to ramble a little bit to keep it running. But you can see this is the actual Assassin's Creed game. And I have played a bit of Halo Infinite on this device. You're not going to be super competitive. You're not going to be playing it with absolutely zero latency, but it is very playable. It's just when you get to the competitive levels of FPS shooters that you're going to run into issues. But over here, and that's not the greatest demo, you can get this running. And the other thing is Switchroot has a additional zip file that you can put in here that makes sure that the joycons properly map to an Xbox controller. Most of these games default support Xbox controllers, and one of the very confusing things for my not very bright mind is that the A and B and the X and Y for Nintendo and Xbox are flipped. So you could do it without the zip file so that the A matches to the A on screen, but doesn't match to your Xbox controller, or you can flip it around and your keys don't match. So I do it mostly by feel anyways, but you can see that you are getting the full game. And keep in mind, I am capturing this, so A bit of the delay is going through my very, very cheap hardware. I'm not running an Elgato or something else. I'm running a $10 capture, but and look at that. You are getting a 720p footage right now just because it's a tablet. I think if you're docked, you get 1080, but I'm going to be honest and say I'm not 100% sure. But look at that. You are getting a full-scale, large PC game. And let me see if I can find something a little more interesting on the horizon here. Ruins, buildings. This graphically obviously looks quite a bit different than if you were playing Breath of the Wild. And I just wanted to get to this area and show you guys that you can have some very breathtaking visuals. Okay, enough of that. Stadia, Gamepass, or Stadia and Geforce Now run fantastically well. Gamepass has a few more hiccups here and there, but let me just throw in Diablo Immortal. Really, really quickly to show you guys that it's not quite at the level of a high-end tablet. And Diablo Immortal, I feel, is kind of demanding. You can run it with low specs, but you're going to see the lag as soon as I boot this up. There's going to be little bits here and there that are problematic. But nevertheless, as soon as Diablo Immortal came out, I had friends asking me, how do you hook up an Xbox controller to your phone? Can we do some weird things with PS5 controllers, or any kind of alternative schemes? But this only works if this actually works. Here we go. Tap to play. And can see the load times don't quite match when I'm using my phone. But it is perfectly playable in certain aspects as well. 720p, so I apologize for your eyes. You're probably looking at this half the resolution it could be. Right, we are being very patient here. Okay, so here we are. You can see with other people, and I'm controlling with my joysticks right now. Where'd these folks go? When you're alone, it runs very, very well. But when you start seeing other characters, when you start seeing all the fireballs and blasts, when you start seeing other characters, it starts to lag quite significantly. Okay. So, now that we're coming up to the end here, just wanted to show you guys one last thing. I'm going to pause and come right back. Alright, so I'm going to end this video now with just some footage of Microsoft Flight Simulator. And sometimes you have to realize just how gorgeous this game is. If you take a look, and I'm just zooming in, all of that detail, and it's all captured on the Nintendo Switch, just a tiny 7-inch screen. So if you're actually playing this and looking at it, it looks absolutely remarkable. And you have to appreciate the technology here. All of the AI and cloud infrastructure to generate these maps, and now the cloud infrastructure to stream it onto your device. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I think it's just an incredibly cool piece of technology that we're able to get into, and sometimes it's not about writing your own code. Sometimes it's just enjoying what's out there. So thanks for watching. I'm going to be playing my video games on the Nintendo Switch.